What's up, guys? My name is Luis Garcia, and I am from VKU. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit before joining VKU, now what it's done for me, and obviously talking about flipping a few accounts. So before VKU, I was in a multi-level marketing company, and obviously, I went with the hype of, it sounded pretty good, making money from your phone and whatnot. And it sounded too good to be true. So, I went ahead and got into it. And really what pulled me in was being able to being able to be a walking ATM. And so it was a fun idea of mine. So I was like, all right, cool. And once I joined, obviously, the MLM, it's kind of like you join the movement, but I was really into the trading forex, and that's what I wanted to focus on. I didn't want to focus on actually recruiting people, and I really wanted to master forex. And I don't really blame the MLM. I think a lot of people say that they get brought in because of false hopes, but at the end of the day, I just blame those same people that actually signed up because it's just common sense. I don't think you'll ever really learn how to master something in the MLM, whatever it is, but whatever, that's just my take. I'm here to talk about VKU, but when I was in the MLM, I learned a few things. I met awesome traders. We had a little run, and then our accounts got blown. And so I was up in the air strangling to learn how to trade Forex. And I was jumping course to course, group to group, signals to signals, and I just wasn't getting it. I studied patterns, what they call it, Japanese patterns or charts and whatnot. And I was doing also like technical analysis and fundamentals with trend lines and harmonic scanner and Fibonacci. I mean, you name it. I've tried it all, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, there's a point where I was winning more than I was losing, but it still it wasn't clicking. I was never really sure going into a trade, and so it was just a sense of uncertainty trading in the foreign exchange market. And so fast forward December of last year, 2016. I fell into like pretty much like this big depression. I was like, you know what? Like, I wanted to give up on Forex, but something kept telling me there was more. Something kept telling me that I would get there eventually. And so, a mutual friend of Tyrone and I got me in a call with Tyrone Foster from VKU, and it was a good call. I mean, just from that call alone, he made me realize that I didn't know much about actually trading Forex consistently. And so there was probably like, he only did like, it was like a little quick phone survey. He probably did like 3 questions. And from then on, I'm like, dude, this guy's boss. I'm like, I know that he knows what he's talking about. And the way he was just breaking it down for me, even on the phone, like he took the time out of his day to actually break certain topics down about the Forex. And I was like, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And that really intrigued me to join VKU. And so 2 weeks later, I was just like, you know what? He hosted a webinar, and he was like, hey, you sign up right now, you'll get this and that. And I was just like, you know what? It was just a no-brainer. And so I hopped right on it. And so up from December up to now, obviously it's been a roller coaster, and it hasn't been perfect. Many people think, when you join such a group like this, so successful, and you hear other students, they think that we just come in here and we learn and boom. But that's not the truth. So when I joined, I took his advice. He said, you know what, study your 4 modules. So 4 months, all you're doing is homework. We do homework, and you turn it in. And there's a few times where I turned in my homework, and he's just like, what the heck is this? And I was just like, bruh, like, I just wanted to know if I was looking at the right thing or something. And he would just like, he wouldn't even tell me if I was looking at the right thing. He was just like, do it over, do it over, do it over. And I was just like, dude, and so whatever. Tyrone's very harsh when it comes to homework, but that's really what got me to where I am today. And this is not even the end of it. And so the first time I loaded up $100 account since I've been in VKU, I blew it. I blew it. There's certain guys in the group that I saw they were just flipping accounts left to right. Joe just actually flipped one from like, what was it, like $20 to like $329 like in one night. That was insane. But so I thought I could do the same, right? And I was just 4 months in, and so it was around what, May or so, and so I tried to do it. I blew it. I blew it within like 3-4 trades. I won the first one, and then the other ones I got a little cocky, and boom, I blew it. So that didn't work out for me. And so what I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a month off. You know, I'm gonna restudy, and I'm gonna do it again. And so I loaded up a second $100 account, and guess what? I blew that one too. And I was like, man, I don't think this flipping account thing is for me, right? And so obviously, don't get me wrong, we preach proper risk management, but I really wanted to see if I was just a sniper in the market just yet. But I hadn't practiced. I should have been playing micro lots instead of playing mini lots on a $100 account and trying to flip it overnight. But again, this is pretty much play money. You know, I was like, I'm learning. You know, and it's, I actually think it's a good thing to lose, because now when I lose, I'm just like, I'll get it back. You know, but when I lost those two accounts, I was just like, dang. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna rewatch the videos, do more homework, take notes. So I've probably gone through each module about 3 times. And I said I would go through each module. We have 12 modules, so it's separated in 12 months. I said I would go through them 10 times each. And so I'm probably like on my 4th time. I'm actually on module 2 right now. And it's helped me a lot. So I've had this habit thing of watching a module, or actually watching a video in a module before I trade. So kind of just refresh my memory of what I've already learned. And it helps a lot. And so I left for a family trip to Honduras, and then I was forced to be away from the charts. And this is really where it was a turning point for me. So they were talking about June of this year, 2017. And so that was a turning point for me. When I was over there, I was forced to be away from the charts. I didn't have internet access, really. I didn't have my laptop. And obviously, you know, I'm taught by Toro not to really look at charts from my phone, because you don't see the whole picture. And honestly, it's true. It's cost me trades to trade from my phone. And so being away for 2 weeks from the charts kind of refreshed me, re-energized me. And so when I got back to the United States, I was like, all right, it's go time. And so it was summer. I wasn't in classes, university. So I was like, you know what? This is it. I got to get it here this summer. And so I started putting in mad hours. I mean, I was rewatching videos. I was going back on the chart. I was reviewing every single week. Where was the peak high of the week? Where was the peak low of the week? Where, you know, where did they vector? Where did they do 50-50 bounds? How does 50-50 bounds work? How does TDI look? And so I was just doing all my homework, and so I loaded up my third $100 account, and this is really where it clicked. And so I was trading it. This time I was doing micro lots. I was like, you know what, I can't lose this account. So I was doing micro lots, so I started winning. And then I was, you know, and it was kind of, there's this video on module 2 actually, or module 1, the end of module 1. And he talks about 2 types of traders. And I was type 1, which is kind of like you're getting it, but then like you'll look at other stuff around Facebook or other groups, and you're like, oh, maybe this person's gonna do this, and then so you follow with that analysis, and you kind of try to predict the market, and then when you come London session and you try to go with supposedly what they said it would do, you lose. And that's where I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get out all the groups. And so I canceled out pretty much every single trader that posted analysis and other groups, and I was like, I'm gonna trade what I see. And so once I started doing that, just excluding myself, cutting out all those other traders on online, that's where I really started getting the concept of how vectors work, the 50-50 bounce, when they set the peak high of the week. And so from then on, I flipped my first $100 account to $300. That was my first one. So I withdrew 200. I was like, all right, let's do it again. And so this time, and then the second time, I went from 100 to $700. And so I was like, man, this is nice. So I withdrew again. And this whole time I really wasn't kind of announcing it, because I was like, I haven't got it yet. I had 2 goals for this year. One was to hit my first 4-figure day, and the second one is to hit my first 5-figure day. And so I'm glad to say that I hit my first goal, which was to hit 4-figure day, just this past week, and it was on GBP Chief, and I saw it. It was forming an M off the water. It was to do 50-50 balance, and I was just like, it's ready to go. And then so I had my account at $2,000 or $1,000. Yeah, it was at $2,000, and so I had built it up from. I honestly lost count how many times I've built from 100 to about $1,000, and this time I just let it go. And so I was like, I got a little ballsy, which I don't recommend doing, but I learned this from Ryan. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna full leverage my account. I'm like, this is how confident I am. I'm like, and if I blow it, I blow it. It was play money at this point. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. And so GBP Chief, I saw it forming the M, and I'm like, boom, it shifted, entered. And then all of a sudden, so I'm playing like 3-4 standard lots. And so my account is pretty narrow on the free margin. And I see you do the extended stop hunt, which is normal on GBP pairs. So I was like, I'm not afraid. But then I saw that it was gonna take me out on a bigger lot, which was a two standard lot, and I was like, no. So I took a loss, and I lost 5 pips. I lost $49, $50. And so I let the other 2 ride. I see it come right back down, and I was like, here it goes. And it literally hit my TP within like 2 hours. And so I'm just like, whoa, I just had my 4-figure day. The next morning, woke up, and then I told Tyrone, I'm like, hey man, like, it's crazy how accurate you were. I even circled where I put my TP, and I kid you not, it threw a hammer right at the previous low of the day. And I was just like, it doesn't get any easier than this. And finally shared it with Tyrone, and I was like, hey man, I told you I would only hit you up for 2 times. I'm like, it'll be one when I hit my first 4-figure day, second one when I hit my first 5-figure day. And so I'm glad to say I hit my first 4-figure day. It's been a hell of a journey. I'm always showing people what I've learned in VKU, and when I have my fellow peers, like, when I explain it to them, they're like, dude, this is so simple. I'm like, yeah, I know, but there's just so much out there in the industry, that, especially in these MLMs, that they try to like throw all these knowledge and tips and whatnot. It kind of just confuses you, and it's pretty simple. And Tyrone does a great job in explaining, like, so simple that even a 4-year-old can understand that, and he stands by that. He takes his time. If you have questions, he's always there. And so, you know what, I'm just thankful for this opportunity, and it's totally been a blessing for me to be in VKU. And you know what, I would want everyone else to know about this opportunity. You would not get a mentorship like this, man. And so that is my story. VKU, I've nailed my first goal. Now I'm going on to my second goal, and that's having a 5-figure day. Stay blessed.